Can you beat Minecraft without mining a single block? In this video, I find out if it's really possible to get all the way through the game without ever even crafting a pickaxe. Now, there's a lot of things preventing me from doing this. I have to somehow figure out a way to collect enough wood to sustain me throughout the entire journey, gather things like tools and armor, all without ever mining any ore, and make it to the stronghold, which is extremely far below the surface. But fortunately, I've got some ideas that will hopefully allow me to beat the dragon. So I loaded into a world and gave it a go. My first strategy was to locate a desert temple, which contains plenty of sand in the chests, as well as TNT right underneath the temple, which will make it easier for me to collect blocks in the future. I eventually found a temple right by a village and looted the village before heading over to the pyramid. Once I got to the temple, my master plan was set in motion. But there was one little thing I forgot to plan for. I had no way to get into the chest area of the temple, until I had an idea. I went outside and started luring a creeper into the temple to blow it up. I hardly got any blocks from the chests, but I did get a saddle and diamond horse armor, which could be useful later on. And about that TNT I was hoping to get, I had no way to get that either without blowing myself up. So I gave up on that idea and began trudging through the desert again, eventually finding another village. So I killed the golem there for iron and moved on. After a lot of walking, I found some wild horses and decided to put my saddle to use. I tamed one of them and gave him the most fitting name I could think of. Horse. Me and Horse saw the world together. We looted many villages and ruined portals, gathering enough resources to give myself some better gear. Eventually we found a place to settle down, a village right next to a lava pool where I could build a portal to the Nether. I wasn't quite ready to go in yet though, because I was still very low on blocks and needed more to navigate my way through the underworld. So I lured some creepers into the village houses to blow them up for wood and cobblestone. At this point I had gathered enough blocks to survive in the Nether and entered the portal. I found a fortress pretty quickly and started to farm blazes. But I got a bit too cocky and thought I could fight them with only 2.5 hearts. But luckily I was able to make it back and retrieve all my loot. As soon as I got enough blaze rods, I left the fortress as fast as I could. I wasn't able to break gold blocks at a bastion, so trading wasn't an option in this run. Instead, I just went to a warped forest and began farming endermen. It actually went surprisingly fast and only took about 20 minutes to get enough pearls. I did not want to stay in the Nether any longer than I needed to, so I immediately ran back to my portal. Now that I had completed my quest in the Nether, technically I was able to head straight to the end, but I wasn't quite confident enough to beat the dragon in this. So I set off to get some more iron and better gear. But when I found a village, this golem was just too cute to kill. He even offered me a flower. Anyway, I continued to head in the direction of the stronghold while gathering better gear on the way. After looting another village, I eventually found the general location of the stronghold. I was hoping it was visible from the ocean, and luckily it was. And as I prepared for my journey into the stronghold, I had to make sure Horse stayed safe. So I built him the most glorious stable the world has ever seen. Now with the peace of mind that Horse would be safe under the shelter of his beautiful stable, I made my way into the stronghold. Or so I thought. It ended up just being ocean ruins, but I did get a fishing rod from it, so my luck wasn't all bad. Now you're probably wondering to yourself,
Polstyle, if it's not an ocean stronghold, then how are you gonna get to it without mining?
Yes, I thought of that, don't worry. See, the obvious idea would be to just lure creepers into a hole for hours upon hours until you get deep enough to get into the stronghold, but only an idiot would do that. Okay, I've run into a bit of a problem. The tunnel is getting too deep and the creepers are starting to die from fall damage, so I've got to switch strategies. Instead of luring creepers for hours like I'd been doing, I decided to just kill as many creepers as I could every night for gunpowder. I also had them blow up beaches to get sand so that I could craft TNT. This way I was able to choose more carefully exactly where I blew up the ground. So I got to work. definitely made a lot of progress on the whole after a few hours of doing this process. And I was starting to wonder why I still hadn't reached the stronghold, or if I was even going in the right direction. And then an idea came to mind. I remembered a contraption one of my favorite YouTubers, Estelina, had used. It allows you to basically X-ray in vanilla Minecraft without any cheats. But this contraption required redstone, which I didn't have, so I made my way to the nearest village and traded a villager for some redstone dust. I was now able to build the contraption, and I gave it a go. But I saw nothing, and I wasn't sure why. But before I could figure it out, I realized something very bad. I was trapped. I started panicking, worrying that everything I'd done up to this point had been for nothing. I couldn't break blocks, which meant I had no way to get out of this contraption. But then I got the genius idea to light it on fire, which broke one of the blocks and freed me from my prison. I later found out I could have just opened the trap door, but you gotta admit, lighting it on fire was kind of clever. Anyway, I thought it maybe hadn't worked because I had built it on the surface rather than in the hole, so I built another one down there. I still didn't see the stronghold, but I did see a large group of mobs, which led me to believe that maybe the stronghold was there. So I continued the TNT process, slowly inching my way towards it. Eventually, I blasted through the wall into a water cave. I thought I must be close, so I went to check the contraption again, and this time I was able to see a part of the stronghold just 20 or so blocks below the water cave. So I continued blasting my way that direction and ended up finding an even larger cave. I used it to lure and kill more creepers, continuing my hole towards the stronghold. After some more demolition, I built another contraption to see if a different vantage point would show me more of the stronghold. And it did! I was able to see that there was only a few blocks separating the stronghold and one of the cave walls. I tried luring creepers for a while, and eventually broke my way into the stronghold. It wasn't even the spot I was aiming for, but this works too. I had finally done it. After countless hours of luring creepers and blowing up TNT, I had made it into the stronghold, and now, there was only one thing left for me to do. So I gathered some extra blocks and food to help me through my journey, and descended into the hole for the final time.